What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving straight into the OP15 format, specifically the post-ban meta, and I'm going to break it down for you super quick in a non-nonsense way. This video is just going to be a tier list of all the current meta contenders, but a quick heads up, I'm not going to be going super deep on each leader. I'm just going to be giving a brief point of why each deck is placed where it is. The goal here is to give you a clear snapshot of the meta and not a 20-minute breakdown of every single matchup. So if you're just trying to figure out what decks are actually good right now, what you should be playing, or what you need to be ready to beat, this video is for you. If I make any mistakes on this tier list, please let me know in the comments, because I do not play every single one of these leaders. Let me know if you think something belongs in another spot. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with yellow enel, I'm probably going to place yellow enel in the high B tier area. It does have access to the unbanned Kingdom Come event and the Borsalino/event package. It's good into purple enel, which is kind of its saving factor, but I just don't think that yellow enel is as prominent as the other decks in this list, and it just doesn't have the play style that goes against the current meta. I'm going to place him in B for now. We'll kind of see at the end if he should go up to A or stay in the same spot, but I do think he's definitely a contender for something that you should be playing in this meta, but I wouldn't really put him in like the A plus S rank. He's probably top of B, maybe low A, but we'll place him here for now. Next, we got Green Bonnie. Green Bonnie is one of my favorite leaders. She does have pretty even matchups into most of the decks. Unlucky for her, she did lose the 8 cost kid from OP1 and the 10 cost doffy, so it doesn't completely counter the current meta, but I do think that her leader ability of keeping one on and then arresting opponent's character or leader, along with like carrots to freeze and like other stuff to keep stuff from attacking, I think it is a good answer in this current format. She definitely would be like A plus S tier if the 10 cost doffy still stayed from OP1 and it didn't get rotated out, because that deck just completely obliterates everything. But yeah, I think I'm going to place it in high A tier for now, maybe lower A tier. We'll kind of see how it goes along. Maybe run Electric Luna as a replacement for the 10 cost doffy, but Green Bonnie definitely will be seeing some play in OP15. Okay, moving on, we do have Yellow Vega. Yeah, this just goes straight into D tier. The only reason I'm including this deck is because it does have access to the Borsalino event package, but that doesn't make up for how strong the other decks are, and this leader has a completely different play style. It's not going to be like, you know, Sky Luffy or like Boa or something like that. I think that this deck is very bait. Okay, speaking of not bait decks though, Yellow Kalgara, definitely an A tier deck, maybe even A plus. We'll put it at the top of A for now. This deck got a lot of new support, and ultimately skyrocketed this deck to one of the best decks in the format. Wiper, the new card, is very good into yellow or purple enel. It's got the Secret Rush Luffy, which is good too, good into stuff that uses blockers and events. Obviously has the Borsalino. So yeah, this deck is very good right now. Found its way into the meta. Very happy for people who used to play Kalgara. They can now finally come back to their beloved leader. Maybe low-key an A plus deck, but for now I'm just gonna put it in A. We might just move it around at the end. But yeah, Yellow Kalgara definitely good. Moving on to Black Purple Luffy. I'm very, very sad to say that this deck is bait. It can go in C tier. I really do enjoy playing Black Purple Luffy. In fact, my 2 most viewed videos on this channel are about Black Purple Luffy. Made guides on Black Purple Luffy, but through my testing, it's just not enough. It got a lot of new cards that were intended for Brooke, but ultimately it just doesn't have enough power to break these top decks. Now, what I will say though is, in the hands of a really good player, and if this deck does high roll and it sees its pieces on the correct on turn, I think this deck might be able to steamroll a lot of people. But I just think that there's too much that you need to have to go right for this deck to do anything. So I'm going to place it in C tier, but it is definitely a very fun local pick. And hopefully it's just going to get better in the OP16 format with like the Sengoku leader coming out. But for now, I'm sad to put it in C tier, but it's definitely not going to be as strong as the other decks on this list. All right, moving on, we got Blackbeard, and I am very happy that this deck find its way back into the meta. It isn't like a crazy deck. I probably put it in B tier above Yellow enel. This leader ability, it just prevents so many decks from performing well, like into Boa or any yellow stuff. Their on play effects even green Bonnie, like most of these decks, like yellow Kalgara too, that they just have like a lot of their entire deck is like supported by unplayabilities. This just completely stops that. So like Borsalino healing stuff, it's such a good way to counter the yellow format. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to be good into purpleenel and Lucy, so I can't really put it too high because those are going to be like very good decks in this format. So I don't want to like put it in A tier just because it's good into yellow if it's bad into, you know, the other two top decks. So I will put him in B tier for now. You know, maybe we'll move him up a little bit towards the end of this tier list. Yeah, for now I'm just gonna put him in B tier. Okay, moving on to green Zoro. This was my favorite leader at one point. I think he does belong in A+ right now. This deck just works because the leader itself is the best attacker. So your characters are just like pieces giving you dawn and value to your leader. As long as you see your curve and you see your Tashigis to rest their stuff and you get your pieces out with your like green Mihawk into Arlong or whatever you have, I feel like this deck can definitely have a way to beat almost every single deck here. If you just have your restand events and your pieces, this deck is just, it always finds a way to stick around in the meta. And I just think that if it just works a little bit better in the current meta than it did in OP14. So I do think it does have a spot in A+. It might come down to the top of A. I do like A+ for Zoro right now. Moving on from Zoro, we got red black Koby. I'm actually excited to see this leader get some love. It's not great into the yellow decks like at all, so I can't really place it higher than like B, maybe a little bit below Blackbeard. Yeah, it's just not good into the yellow decks. It's definitely a strong deck, and I'm sure you can top at an event if you're running red black Koby, as long as you like dodge all the yellow decks, which is so prominent in OP15 because of what Bandai did. So yeah, I'll put him in B tier. He might be like very low A, maybe top of B, because he did get a lot of buffs, but I think B is a good spot for him for now. Okay, moving on from that, we got RG Luffy. Oh my god, this deck is so freaking annoying. It's got access to free 10,000 counter every turn towards the end game. It has the blocker Nami that rests 2 8 cost and restands 5 Dawn. And now, in the OP15 format, it's got the access to the second half of EBO4, so it gets the rush character Zoro that boosts him to a 7k leader. That's freaking despicable. Yeah, so he's gonna be a 7k leader with 5 Dawn at the end of his turn, which are 2k counters each. This guy's just gonna be untouchable. Easy A+ tier, low key, like how, depending on how OP15 decides to play out towards the like middle of the format, it might even go to S. Like, I'm not even joking, this deck is so annoying. You know, the red Zoro just making it a 7k. I definitely an A+ deck right here. We got purple doffy. I actually do think doffy thrives in this format more than people think. He just has so many ways to slow the opponent down and outlast them. He's not great into yellow decks, but it's not like far from that being even. I'm saying he's like probably unfavored like 55-45, and a good purple doffy player would be able to beat these yellow decks. But Ace does still stick around in this current format, so he's definitely not like an A+ S tier deck. I'd probably put him maybe like above or below Bonnie. Probably put him below Bonnie by 1 tier because Ace does still stick around and he's like completely counter to Ace. So I'll probably put doffy in A. Okay, next up we got purple yellow rosentante. This is one of the best decks in the last set. Unfortunately not as great in OP15. He isn't weak though. I think this leader is very dice roll dependent, where if you can take first from your opponent, then you're chilling. But if you lose and it's like an uphill battle for this leader, probably put him in the top of B tier. It's definitely not weak, but it's just not the same format as OP14 was. UP Sanji. Okay, this deck was fun while it lasted, but I'm sorry, this deck is like a C tier deck now probably. Your saving grace is that you do beat Ace, and Lucy. I'm pretty sure you beat Lucy as well. So maybe he's top of C tier. But other than those two decks, you're probably gonna lose if you match up into anything else. Yeah, it was sad to see you go. You did well in the EB3 OP14 format, but sad to see you go, man. Next up, UP Luffy. Speaking of decks that are gonna fall off. Okay, so my understanding is that with the Mihawk and Red Rock getting rotated out this deck, it's probably not gonna be a very good deck. But I am seeing tweets and posts online saying that the pudding ban makes this deck good. I'm assuming they just think that they'll be able to keep their Gum Gum Giants in hand all game. and just wait till the last turn. But if you don't have your Mihawk to cheat off of your Sanjis or Red Rock to remove their big bodies, I don't see a way that I can put this in anything other than D tier. Like, this deck just doesn't have anything else to cheat out other than the Rogers, but you only run 4 Rogers. So if you just don't see your Sanji into Roger, like, what are you gonna do? So I am gonna put him in D tier. Yeah, I just don't see him thriving in this format with the rotation. If I'm wrong on this UP Luffy, actually you do have the Lin. You do have the EB3 Lin, but that's not like a crazy card to put out. All right, I'll put him in like very low C tier. You guys let me know if you guys cooked up something for UP Luffy that makes him work in the next format, but I just don't understand how he's gonna be able to do anything post rotation. Okay, now we're moving on to Red Purple Roger. This is actually what my pick for OP15 is going to be, probably. I really enjoyed playing him on the sim these last couple of days. Yeah, so he does get the new access to the Zoro that buffs him to a 9k leader, and a 9k base stat line for any deck is going to be crazy strong. He also has the promo Rogers that also do the same thing, that boost him to a 9k. So he just has like more consistency to stay at a 9k leader in the post game. Also, there's no pudding anymore to reset your hand size. So you can just take the beginning of your lives until you're down to like 2 or 1 life, and then you'll have a massive hand, and you can just keep countering out like small cards from your hand because you'll be at a 9k leader. So for them to do any damage, you'll have to swing really big into you. So I do think Red Purple Roger does do better in this format because Red Rock is rotated out and the pudding is banned. So I do think he does have a place in the A+ tier. Yeah, he does get crapped on by purpleenel, but maybe there's some text that people are rerunning to somehow counter that matchup. But as long as you're not playing into purpleenel, I think you have a very good chance of winning the matchup. So A+ for Purple Roger. Okay, Ace. Don't know how this deck is not touched at all and gets better for some reason. He's been the best deck in the format for the last 3 sets that came out for some odd reason, and they buffed him even more by banning pudding because he just has such a big hand size and unlimited resources to continue like countering out and stuff. Yeah, easy S tier for Ace. Somehow continues to find its way to the top of the meta. So we'll see what it does in OP15, but I have a very good strong feeling that S tier is where Ace belongs. Okay, speaking of S tier decks from previous sets, Emu. Okay, Emu, I'm in a little bit of a weird spot on Emu. When the OP15 leaders first got announced, it seemed like the glory days of Emu finally came, and he'd probably be like a B tier deck. But with the ban of pudding, I'm pretty sure Emu kind of survives here in the A tier, maybe like right below Bonnie. Blue Yellow Boa, the only way it would really be able to beat Emu in the past is it just held pudding, and then right before it went for lethal, all the events that Emu was holding in its hand, it would just be gone. Ace as well, pudding was a very good card into Emu. You just put down a pudding. I'm sure Rebecca would be playing pudding as well if it didn't get banned. Lucy as well. Yeah, without pudding, I think Emu does kind of stay there in the A tier range. It's definitely not an S tier deck or an A+ tier deck, but it does find a spot in the current meta. Maybe I'm wrong on Emu. You guys let me know in the comments, but I think A's a decent spot to put Emu for now, especially with the pudding ban. Red Black Sabo. I did make a guide on the EBO3 Sabo for how you should play Red Black Sabo in EBO3. I did kind of mention that in OP15 EBO4, he's going to get access to the Red Zoro Rush character that boosts him to an 8k base leader. If you have, you know, all your pieces on the board, you'll be base 6, but then +2 you'll be at 8. So I do really like Red Black Sabo as a pick in this format. I'd probably put him in high A, probably above Bonnie. Yeah, I stand that this deck is going to be good. It's super consistent. If you can find your curve going second, and then you just have access now to buff your leader, and you have a lot of counter that you can find through your stage, so you can just keep a big hand size and stuff like that. I think Red Black Sabo does kind of have a good spot in this meta. Very consistent deck, and just gets buffed by that Zoro. So we will put him in the high A tier. Okay, next we got Black Croc, and Black Croc also low-key bottom of A+ now, I'm assuming. I'm seeing a lot of praise towards Black Croc right now. You know, you just have a lot of stuff to freeze them and build a big board before going for game. Blue getting hit, so Red Rock and pudding does help this leader out. You can, you know, board events in your hand. But I think that this current meta, like freezing stuff is like really good. So decks like Green Bonnie, potentially Mihawk, we'll talk about Mihawk next, Black Croc, these decks are going to be really good because you'll just be able to outlast your opponent and build up a big board and then go for game. I am seeing Black Croc do crazy numbers right now in local events and regionals. So I'm gonna put him in A+ tier. Very, very interested to see how Black Croc moves forward. All right, green mihawk. Okay, this leader was the ruler of OP14. He has fallen a little bit. I think he's still very good. He's pretty much good into everything but purpleenel and Lucy, but that alone is enough for me to stick him like next to Bonnie. I don't want to put a deck that is bad into one of the best decks in the format, or two of the best decks in the format, in anything like higher than A. There's like no reason to do that. But mihawk does do pretty well into pretty much everything else. So yeah, he does stick around, but he's not going to be like that top of the line meta pick that we were seeing in the previous set. So we'll see how mihawk continues in the deck list that it comes out with. Electric Luna, probably a good thing to add into green decks, because you'll be able to just freeze the entire purple enel board. I do think that it has a place in A. Okay, so moving on, we have blue yellow boa. So this deck was looking to be the best deck in format coming into OP15. But I do think that the pudding ban hit Boa hard enough to drop her to the top of A+. Yeah, it does. It's still a very, very strong deck, because she was already a top tier deck before OP15, and now getting access to the Borsa and Quasar events makes her just even stronger. But I do think that the pudding was very necessary for her to win certain matchups. So I do think that she doesn't quite get to that S tier. I think she's top of A+, but very, very good meta pick. If you're playing UI Boa right now, I don't think that there's any reason for you to drop the deck. Very, very good. Will top at some events. That's a good spot for Boa. Next, we've got black yellow Gecko Moria. This deck just keeps to seem to stick around for some reason. The Thriller Bark package is super consistent, and he just has a good matchup spread. Definitely is a decent deck pick, probably around the Blackbeard level, maybe right above Blackbeard. In the hands of a cracked player though, it could probably even be like low A. It's just like I don't know, I don't really play Gecko Moria like that, but I do see that people are still running it, and it has a really good matchup spread, so I definitely do see people still running it in OP15. It's definitely not going to be a C or D tier tech. I just think that these A+, and S just have like a little bit more of a place in this meta because of what their leader abilities do, and how their like deck performs against these certain leaders. But you know, B, maybe high B, maybe like a little bit over purple rosy, because it's not as dice rolly as this leader. Maybe even Blackbeard goes above that too. So I think this is currently how I would put it. But that's pretty much all the decks that we have that's before OP15. Aside from black yellow Luffy and GP Luffy, I kind of added there in the end. We'll just talk about them a little bit. We'll just talk about them later. But moving into the new decks, we do have Donquixote here. Unfortunately for Donquixote, I don't think he has enough support to do numbers in this format. I think he is probably a C tier deck. Yeah, he just like on paper he looks really good, because you'll be able to move their Dawn around and rest their stuff, and then they just have a consistent minus 2,000 power to all their characters on their board. But I just don't think that Donquixote has the power to beat any of these decks above it. Okay, that's a little crazy. It probably could beat these decks, but it's not going to be like a top of a regional or something like that, because it just does lose into a lot of other decks. So you have to like really dodge a lot of decks if you want to see this leader perform in OP15. I'm gonna stick him in C tier. Hopefully he gets better in like OP16, 17. But for now, yeah, this is probably the worst leader of the group of the new leaders. Moving on, we have rblucy, and this deck just skyrockets to S tier. Oh my gosh, it's just got insane amount of hand size. The 7 cost to 9k blocker sabos that can play out an event when it gets played out, and the event choices that this leader has are crazy too. It has a stage that just gives you a free 2k per turn. It's just a really well-made leader, good into a lot of things. The only thing that makes this deck from being overpowered and broken is that the 7 cost sabos are 7 cost, and Electric Luna and other cards like Carrot or Black Croc, like they'll be able to keep the sabo blockers frozen, or rest them or stuff like that. So I do think that it's not like the most broken deck of all time, but it is still a very strong deck that automatically gets placed in S tier. Very good into pretty much every single deck, keeps a big hand size, no pudding to get rid of it, and you can just thrive in this format. So I do put him straight in S tier, right above Ace. All right, moving on, we have Brooke. I really do like how they did the Brooke leader effects and all that stuff like that. Very, very, very strong deck if you are able to high roll and you see all the pieces you need on curve. But other than like it's being high roll dependent, I don't think that this deck would be higher than like maybe a Koby. Okay, maybe enel needs to move up a little bit. I feel like yellow enel is too low here for having the Kingdom Come unban plus the Borsa package. I don't think it should be that low. Maybe right under Blackbeard. Yeah, I'll probably put Brooke though at like low B tier. I mean, if you do see everything on curve and you can just shred your opponent with your double attack Luffys and you can get your monster Luffy out early and you'll just be a buffed leader, I think that it can do damage. But I don't know. I don't see many people topping like top 4, top 8 at any events on the Japan side, and I don't really see a lot of people talking about how good this leader is going to be. I haven't really tested him myself yet, so if you think that he does deserve to go up to A, let me know in the comments. But from what I've seen, I think he has a place in B tier area. So yeah, that's where I put him. Blue Rebecca. Okay, Blue Rebecca is actually a lot better than people think, and I'm going to put her in low A tier. She just has like a very, very nice synergy with her deck. Just keep playing out stuff, bouncing stuff. I really do like her as a leader and how she works. And I have a lot of people in my locals group that say that they're going to be maining Blue Rebecca. Very, very underrated pick. I'm going to just go ahead and put her in low A, putting her as a sleeper pick. I'm going to be playing Roger most likely, but as like a secondary deck, Blue Rebecca is very, very strong from what I've seen. So I will put her in low A tier, but let me know if you guys think that she belongs in a lower or higher tier. Okay, purpleenel, obviously S tier deck. This deck is just like Rayleigh, but on drugs. Super, super aggro. I think that the Holly card is broken. It's just got double attack and you can swing big numbers really, really early. You can make your other characters double attack as well, your own characters. And then you just continuously have a good hand size because you'll be able to draw cards. Yeah, this deck is just super, super, super strong. Purpleenel, definitely an S tier deck. Don't know what much else to say about it. Hopefully you have Luna if you're running green. If you don't have that, then good luck. Yeah, definitely an S tier deck. Okay, Sky Luffy here I think is going to be an A+ tier deck, right above Boa Hancock, just because it does have like the Sky Luffy stuff. So you're gonna have the Rush secret Luffy that comes out as well as the Borsa package, and there's like it's just yellow. If you're yellow and you're good in this format, you're probably going to be somewhere within the A to S tier deck. But yellow Luffy is just really, really well made. You can just keep your board size by taking life, and then you can hoard the hand size till the end, and there won't be a pudding to get rid of all the cards that it was building up in its hand, so you can just counter out at the end. Yeah, the secret rush Luffys, if you have a blocker on the field or events to counter out of your stuff, it just gets skyrocketed up in power, so you really won't be able to tank hits from this leader. I didn't really do too much testing on this, but I do see a lot of topping at events and a lot of people talking about Sky Luffy, so very, very good deck. Probably A+, if not like low S, but I'm going to stick him in A+ for now because I don't want to put too many decks in the S tier range. Okay, so that's pretty much all the new stuff. I do want to include GP Luffy and Black Yellow Luffy because GP Luffy always finds its way in the meta. All right, I'm just going to stick him probably like right above Brooke. You know, I play GP Luffy. A lot of people play GP Luffy. They always want to know where he sticks in the format. There's a lot of diehard GP Luffy fans. Actually, it can run Electric Luna as well. Maybe even like above enel, low key. Yeah, I'd probably put him higher just because he's green and can run Luna, and Luna's just so good in this format, but I wouldn't really put him in the A+ S tier. Just wanted to let you guys know where he does fall into this meta because a lot of people do like GP Luffy. And then Black Yellow Luffy. This deck, I'm seeing a lot of people test on the sim. Very, very good apparently. I haven't done my own testing on him, but I do see that the matchup spread for him is very good. Bad into red purple Roger, which is one of the decks I'll be playing, so very happy that I won't have to deal with this annoying deck. But yeah, I do see that he is like a lot better now because he's yellow and he has the black stuff as well that he can just build up his trash with. So I do really like Black Yellow Luffy in this format. Probably low A+, maybe. Actually, there's no way that Kalgara is this low. Okay, yeah, we'll put Black Yellow Luffy low A, not low, right below Kalgara. Yeah, Kalgara is actually a way better deck than I'm giving it credit for. I actually don't know why I put him this low in A. Probably move it to above Zoro. It's just a very strong yellow deck. I don't know why I put him in A. Yeah, it's a yellow deck with the sky stuff and the Borsalinos. There's no reason for him to be lower than any of these decks over here. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I want to move around. Yeah, UP Luffy, I don't understand how how people are putting this guy anywhere else. Yeah, I think that this tier list does depict how OP15 should be playing out. I mean, obviously I could be wrong here on my predictions. Let me know if you agree or disagree. See you guys.